if okay. Just wanted to make sure. And you are muted. So we want to say welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. So tonight we are doing, of course, our different spin. Um, we're not coming from, well, we are Caribbean diaspora, yes, but tonight we are talking about inner vibes. We want to talk about spiritual tips. We got to do next level things sometimes to get to that next level, and we want to educate ourselves and educate others. So it's all about sharing tips to elevate our minds, our hearts, our bodies, and soul, basically our consciousness, right? So we believe that's important. And we believe we've got some interesting information to share between the three of us, and we have different points of view, and that's what life makes life so. Can you imagine putting the same recipe in your cake? You need different, you need a little cinnamon, you need a little, little this dash of this and that. That's what makes it yummy. So, we are going to start off. So, what we want to do for this segment of show of spiritual tips is share tips. And so let's introduce ourselves and then we're going to come back. I know we're running a little late, but we're going to get started. So, my name is Donna Morton Morgan, and I'm the president of Caribbean American Diaspora, president of Women of Culture Incorporated, mindset coach, entrepreneur, real estate broker, life insurance, etc., etc. True Jamaican, right? So, we want to share some amazing tips with you. My tip is going to be renewing the mind. If most of you who know me know that I'm always talking about mindset, which I'm a mindset coach. So that's going to be my tip on why we need to renew the mind and really going into maybe scripture, maybe Torah, maybe Quran, different ancient wisdom. We're not afraid to go into different books and give tips for all of us, right? So that's my introduction. So hello, Marjorie. How are you?
Well. I'm doing well. I'm calling myself singing well, and I'm really excited about today. Today we're going to start drilling down on some heady stuff, but it's stuff that we can, I don't know, chew on,
Mhm,
sip on,
mhm.
think about, ruminate on. And so Marjorie Beazer, coming out of the U.S. Virgin Islands by way of Antigua and Barbuda, currently I am sitting in downtown Sacramento, California, looking at the state capitol. So this is where my travels have me right now. Today, I'm going to bring a little bit of the word, and I'm going to take that word and wrap it around wisdom, and take that wisdom and, make it make sense. Make it make sense. So we're going to talk. We're going to holler. I'm going to holler at you a little later. But, for me, working in the what we call the DCI space, the diversity, change, innovation space. When we look at areas of expertise for me, we talk about crime and justice, we talk about public policy, we talk about psychosocial health and wellness and capacity building. That's why I'm a serial entrepreneur. Lead center for pages out of Antigua and Barbuda, Hope Consulting Inc. here in Sacramento, California, and of course, my consortium out of Trinidad and Tobago. All of my entities, the entire focus is heart, mind, how do we, one, integrate it and then change them in a way that gets us to the best version of who we are and want to be. Thanks,
That's the goal.
Donna.
That's the goal, to be
Yeah.
our best,
Hey.
less self. Our
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah, that part.
Louis.
Hey, Wagwan, how are you? How are you guys?
Blessings, blessings.
Yeah, it's been a minute, and it's good to hook up and be back on the network with you guys here. Marjorie, it's good to see you, and I like today's topic. But first of all,
Thank
let
you.
me just welcome all our listeners that are listening through the CRR Network Radio from across the world, across the diaspora. Welcome to Caribbean Rhythms Radio Network. And we are delighted to be here. It's beautiful weather in Central Florida today. 81 degrees now, and so
Mhm.
it's nice and getting cool down from the 90s today. And it's a good evening for you to walk. And if you have your headphone, just put it on and get some knowledge as we dig into our wisdom box, to get out as much as possible. We'll be digging into the wisdom box, we'll be digging into the Bible, and really just share some positive notes to each and every one here. I don't think none of us are uh, labeled with anything like pastors or ministers, but we are people of God. We know who we are, and I think this is the best way to approach the things that we're saying. We don't, we're not bound to any particular type of religion. I am not into religion. I am into knowing the Creator and knowing who I am and who my brothers and sisters are and how I should treat them. And I think that is one of the things that we're missing in our society. How we treat one another, because there is a principle behind the Ten Commandments. We were given Ten Commandment as a people, but there is 613 principles that goes with those commandments that most of us don't know or don't follow. Either we don't know about them or we just know, but we don't follow these principles. We only follow the way of our oppressors. We are still looking to our oppressors for guidance, for direction. If the oppressor don't say it, then it doesn't mean anything. We
Okay.
shun one another. We say, "Oh, are you preaching?" And we start talk. Somebody hit us. Are you preaching? Oh, are you a minister? And we try to dumb down one another because we are not. We don't have the wisdom enough to understand that this is how we should speak to one another. We should speak the word, and if you think I'm wrong, let's prove it to each other and make sense out of the things we're saying. And so, this is the society that we're in today. I'm looking forward for a great talk this evening.
Yes. By the way, Louis, I don't know what you're doing, but you're looking younger and younger. What's up?
I
Eh,
saw it go.
I want
Me
the
can't take
formula,
the look.
man.
So I'm just living life as I can, as the creator made me. Listen, I want to look young and fresh every day. I have a lot of life to live,
Hey,
and I just need to do.
ah, Freddie now.
Amen.
Okay, then.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So, mindset coach, I usually focus on the verses in the Bible that stands out to me about mind and heart. And many of you know I left religion and came back into a relationship, right, with the creator. Um, but now I consider myself more practicing spirituality versus religion. And people ask me, what is spirituality? It's a way of life. Like Lewis mentioned, it's really just being, expressing as love, as care, compassion, kindness, forgiveness, really sums up the fruit of the spirit. So that's what I do. And incorporating repetition practices, and these are ancient spiritual practices from the East to renew the mind. And I always wonder, why is that verse so important? Renewing the mind to be transformed, right? And the verse is actually, but be transformed
Mhm.
by the renewal of your mind, so that you may prove what is good and acceptable, and the perfect will of God. and you're the one that have to prove it. You have to do the work. So I believe that we've gone away from doing work, and then we were steered away from inner renewal, and then we were kind of, steered to focus or worship in exterior saviors, etc. So we kind of went away from the message and went to worshiping the messenger instead of being in alignment with what the messenger or the teacher was saying. And I look at and I compare a lot with, especially in the last year, with people that I identify as following Yeshua, but the actions are completely different. And for me, I sum it up as it's important to renew the mind. Why? Because of our colonized programming. So I was teach that when we start out as babies, we are just amazing. First of all, we are all light. Every single one of us. Every human being is a light. We don't have to wait to say a certain phrase or to do certain routines to become light. The minute you are born, you are light. But for many, trauma happens, life experiences happen, right? And that light gets dim, just like a light bulb. You're born at 100% at watts, right? But then we can know you go into another room that there's a light bulb at 30 watts. It's still light. It's just operating, it's a little dim. So my understanding is that's what life does to us. It dims the shadows of stress, of worrying, of trauma, unhealed trauma, right? Unhealed unforgiveness, resentment, jealousy, all these things dim our light, but the light is there. And so renewing in the mind for me is a prescription, and I like to call these verses prescription to elevate our minds, our hearts, our bodies. Because when we go to the doctor, what does it say? You're stressed out, and it caused a sickness. So there is a correlation to what we're consistently thinking and feeling to our physical bodies. And there's also, so there's a physical consequence and there's also a spiritual consequence. But the renewing the mind means all of that. It's like the ancient teachers knew, or from ancient time, they knew that corruption was going to happen, which we're seeing it. We're seeing so many things being taken away, being removed, accomplishes being removed. So corruption has always been present. But when we renew the mind, we're renewing it from the shadows of the colonized beliefs that tells us we are grasshoppers. We're nothing. We're unworthy, especially for Black people. The colonized thinking of having a certain image, and this is what greatness looks like. So when we renew the mind, we're doing our affirmations. And why is affirmations and mantras important? Because that's how we learn. If you decided to learn Creole or Spanish right now, you can't just say it by the blood. You must do the work and by repetition and repeat and repeat and repeat. It must come through the eyes, the ears, the mouth, all the gates. So we need to stop this kind of foolishness that we just say a certain phrase and life is going to change. So renewing the mind is basically like you're a computer and you are coded for failure. So that renewal is to recode you for success. And that's how we have to why it's so critical to renew the mind, but it takes practice and it takes daily repetition. Right? So that is
I'm
my
with you.
understanding of why it's like, because think about when we have people that say they change, and 2 weeks later, the person is doing the same pattern, the same habit. They did not unless your mind changed, you didn't change. You can put on the pretty hat, the outfit, you can be called all the different names, but you did not change until your mind, your consciousness changes. So we need to get on that level, but understand we were programmed by our colonizers for failure, for lack and limitation. So if we want to get above, we have to reprogram. We must do it. And we see AI. We have to look at ourselves. We're not AI, we're better. We are spiritual intelligence. We were given God-given, yes.
Ooh. Say
Yes.
that one again.
Like it.
Say that one again.
We are better than AI. We are spiritual intelligence. We're not
Yes,
artificial.
ma'am.
We're not
That
artificial
part.
intelligence. We are
That part.
spiritual intelligence, but we don't know that we are spiritual intelligence. We don't know that we are, or this technology, our minds, our hearts, our soul, our emotions. We are technology in a body. So we have to kind of know, we have to get back to knowing thyself. But that's going to be but that's what they did. So the renewal is necessary for you, for self, not to go off into a
Yes.
heaven, because the heaven is within you, first of all, but it's to elevate your mind, your heart, your soul, which then elevates your health, your wealth, and your happiness.
Oh my goodness. Listen to you. Listen to you. I loved it when you said, oh, we are better than AI. We are oh, it's like you need to know,
Yes.
right? You need to know because defining self is so critical when it comes to looking at and what does that mean? What are my expectations as a result of understanding who
Right.
I am and whose I am? Yeah, power is built into the self concept.
Self-concept.
It is an engine, it's fuel, it's fire. Yeah? It is fire that helps that engine to burn and the coal to be lit. And yeah, true. That's right. I think I can. Hold on a minute. I know I can. When you spoke about the whole notion of renewing the spirit of your mind, that resonated deeply for me because as I was sharing with the team earlier, ladies and gentlemen, I was saying, I wanted to bring this lens of there's a scripture in the Bible, and it's a universal principle that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Yeah? And one of the reasons that the weapon doesn't prosper is because I believe, here we go with the mind. I believe, mind, heart, that nothing goes so, right?
Right.
There's not today, not yesterday, not tomorrow, not this weekend. I don't care what festival it is, because I am so confident and convinced that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Wanting to keep in mind that it never said that the weapon wouldn't form. The question is, how do I look at it? How do I interpret it? How do I perceive it? How do I engage? Thank you. How do I interpret and engage it? And that begins in large part in my mind. They also have this saying, what the mind believes, the body will achieve. Mind over matter, yeah?
Yes.
Things like hysterical pregnancy. A woman who is barren or wants a child so badly that she believes with everything that she is pregnant, the body starts responding accordingly. And it's a phenomena called a hysterical pregnancy. If she ain't pregnant now, there was no little swimmers that went and did their jobs, you know what I mean? But because her mind believed it, her body achieved it. That is how mystic this mind of ours is. That's how powerful it is. So when I say, and when I go to this notion that no weapon formed against me shall prosper, and that every tongue that rises in judgment against me, I will condemn. Yeah?
Mhm.
That
Yes.
also takes me, and ladies and gentlemen, people, right? So let me give you a little Caribbean flavor. There's a thing that you'll hear the elders say: don't wash your mouth on my children and them. Okay? Don't wash your mouth. What does that mean? Don't speak ill of them. Don't say negative things. Don't pour that into their ears, into their spirits. Don't speak that over them. And that lends itself to that piece in the scripture where it says, every voice. For what in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. It also says that the tongue, this littlest member of the body, can set a fire, right? It will set a fire. So
Mhm.
again, for me, the two concepts meld so wonderfully in if I think it, if I believe it, it will manifest. And when I walk in that confidence, the confidence opens doors and closes others that didn't need to be open. Yeah. It also gives us the opportunity to have that personal relationship out of which this sense of confidence, and some people will think you're arrogant. It's no arrogance. Is that I am so convinced, I have seen it manifest, not just in my life, but in the lives of others, that I know say something goes so, right? Something goes so. So, Louis, what are your thoughts? I mean, you've heard us speaking, you've heard us, offering insights and our concepts. Where do you land? What is it that's on your mind today?
Well, for me, uh, what I would contribute this evening is we as a people, we don't ask question. That's one of our biggest
Mm,
problem with us as a society. We take everything as it comes.
Mhm.
When it comes to our
mm,
creator and self, we don't ask
mm,
any questions. Oh yeah, and we seems to take everything and be okay with it. And it doesn't matter what someone else say to you. Hey, this is what I grew up with. This is how it is,
Mhm.
and I am not changing. And so, for example, we most of us are just learning the fact that the Bible has been tampered with. That is
mm,
a fact. That is not a
Mhm.
question. It's not a hearsay. It is a
mm,
fact. The Bible has been totally dampered and questioned, and changed. And so when Jesus left, before he left, he tell his disciples in uh, Matthew chapter 10 that you must be wise as a serpent and be harmless as a dove. Because there's wolves and sheeps out there that's gonna tear you up. We don't understand that clearly,
mm,
but he knew that this was gonna happen. He knew that the Bible was gonna change in the world that we came as slaves. He knew things was going to be put
mm,
in there into the Bible to throw us off as to the light, as Donna mentioned. We all was
mm,
born with 100% light in us. We are not AI. We are SI. We are this. We are the
hey,
spirit.
Spiritual intelligence. Yes.
And so,
hey,
for example, I'm going to read from the Bible that the men and women in church tell us every Sunday that this is the one we must read from, which is the King James Version. And I study and understand who this guy King James was. He was a dirty politician man, a king that killed his mother,
mm,
beheaded his mother, ordered the beheading of his mother. He was a king that was believing
mm,
demons and witches and witchcraft. So you have to think that if this man was sanctioned to rewrote the Bible, which it was rewrote over 2,000 times. All the names that we think are there is not there. We all are calling on a title. We go to church and we worship a title. How can that be for years and none of these men and women say anything? We call the devil by his name, Satan, but we don't call the creator by his name. We call him by a title, Lord and God. That's all. That's it. So how can that name be how can you get any result from calling someone by a title when he clearly put in the Bible that you must call me by my name? Is even in the 10 Commandments, don't mess up my name. Don't mess it up. That means he wants you to call him, but make sure you call me the correct name. So that is very important. And I think the ignorant that we have been taught all our years, all our life, that the Bible is 100% is just totally wrong, and we're not being taught correctly by the people that we depend on. So for me, I've withdrawn myself from the religious church. I have to, because I think hypocrisy for me to sit and now continue to praise the Lord when it's clearly, if you search, clearly was rejected. Jesus said, don't call me no Lord. Lord is for those Esau people that exercise authority over them. I didn't come here to exercise authority over you. I come here to be served. I come here to serve as a servant. It's all in
leadership.
And so when you read, for example, a passage like, simpler passage like the 23rd Psalms, the Lord is my shepherd. That cannot be. It have to be Yeshua the Lamb, because those are named. Those are not title. But when you start speaking, people look on you and say, you're crazy. And I'm saying to us, why are we just stuck? Are we being lazy and not searching and not educating ourselves, as Marcus Garvey said, to the knowledge of our soul? Because that's what we're missing. We're not educating ourselves and our kids and our children to the knowledge of this book. And so that's been a problem. We cannot look. I'm supposed to look on Donna or any one of you, and if something going on with you, I should be able to pray for you right here, and you are ill. Because when he left, he said, greater works I will do than what I have done. But we not sin or work. Nobody not do nothing. You go to church for years and there have not been a healing in church. You get worse. So how can this be that we continue? That mean God a lie then. He's a liar. If you cannot heal somebody with your tongue and your mouth, that is a lie. And I know he's not a liar. That means we are calling the wrong name, and it's time we get conscious. We get really conscious and get into this book. We cannot read from one Bible only. If we read from one Bible, we don't have questions. We must have questions. So when you read from another Bible or a third Bible, you will understand that something is wrong with the one you've been reading, because everyone in the Bible have a different wording. So then you will, the Holy Spirit, the one that's in you, will start to convict you and say, listen, man, listen, Donna, something all right. You have to question. That is the biggest problem. We don't question nothing. We read the same thing. We go through the same thing with one King James Bible every day.
Right.
We must read. There is over 500 versions of Bible. They all said something differently. But if you are truly under the elevation of the Spirit, that's why the Spirit was sent to us, to correct us and to teach us the truth. That if you see something,
Well,
he's going to tell you, okay, this is the correct wording. This is my word, because we cannot hide from his word. As long as we read it with the intention of knowing it and understand it, he will correct us and say, that is my word. The one that no good. And these are from
so
experience.
let me
There's a
ask
lot
you
of things.
this, Louis. Let me
Amen.
ask you this. You made a
I'll yield my time.
comment, and I apologize for cutting you.
No
No,
problem.
you don't have to yield your time. You've piqued my curiosity. Let me ask you. So you made a comment that we don't question, right? That means we're not engaging in any real deep level of thought. We're not analyzing. We're merely engaging in rote behavior that we've been accustomed to, right? Just doing the same thing. My
Right.
question to you is, why? What is it? What are the barriers that prevent us from taking that next level mindset change type of step from your perspective? What is it that prevents
Amen.
that? And why is it so prolific? Why is it so, why is it so commonplace? And then what are the solutions to overcoming those barriers so that we can experience mindset change, so that we can experience that evolution and revolution of the mind that Donna so eloquently spoke to?
Programming. Remember, so
Okay.
like Lewis talked about
Go ahead.
the Bible, origin. So people will curse you if you tell them that the Bible, they believe like God literally came, packaged the Bible. Google Council of Nicaea. It's between, and just you just have to Google it. What is the Council of Nicaea? It will tell you that was between the time of maybe 300 to 325, between that time frame, where
Yes.
Roman Catholic bishops had a board meeting. Board meeting,
Yes.
all right? And they decided what the trajectory of Christianity would be. They decided what scriptures were going to be because remember, everything had to be translated. What was
Mm-hmm,
translated,
mm-hmm,
what was revised, what was edited, what was added, what was deleted that did not
Mm-hmm.
serve their
mm-hmm,
purpose, because this was, like we're seeing today, a political power move to keep you controlled. Lack, limitation, control.
mm-hmm,
So once the church, that became the official. So remember how big church is. Remember how many hospitals, how many
mm-hmm,
businesses are owned by the church. It's a big, we see it, the
mm-hmm,
influence in politics. It's a big
Yes.
mm-hmm.
structure, right? It's a big
Yes.
Yes,
system.
it
Yes,
is.
it is.
So if
Yes.
that system says, here is this, we're going to package it up here, follow it. And what they did was they killed anyone that went against them. Any of this inner renewal work that I talk about, that Yeshua talked
Mm-hmm,
about, any of the energy work and gratitude that came from the East, it was they
mm-hmm,
killed you because they
mm-hmm,
wanted to steer you. No inner work. They don't want you to realize that you are spiritual intelligence.
spiritual intelligence.
They want to keep you
Mm-hmm,
in sadness, stress, sickness. That's big money business right there. So they tell you
Mm-hmm.
via
mm-hmm,
the churches, don't ask any question. If you ask any questions, you're a heretic, you're gonna go to hell. So people out of
Yes.
fear
Was a
stay
fear
put.
tactics.
Mhm.
here we go. There we go.
Fear
It is. I
tactics.
love
Fear
that word, fear tactics.
in
Yes,
heart and the mind of every
you're right,
individual.
Louis.
Just clasp your hand like this and pray and don't ask no questions.
Mm,
And be holy. It's all control of the mind. It was all a control because we were on the plantation. Not only that, they knew who we were, who we are. If I have you on the plantation, if I have you working for me for free all these years, I'm not going to let you go. And I'm not going to tell you that this Bible was written about you or for you. I can't. But at some point, we're going to rebel because we know there is a book. But even when we get the book now, so that's why they have to redact the book. The book have to be redacted to take out the things that we would know who we are. I share something here real quick. In Exodus chapter 5, when God tell this brethren here now to take over from Moses, when he retire Moses and tell
Aaron. I think it's Aaron, isn't it?
No, he
Aaron,
told Joshua. Joshua.
There you go.
When he told Joshua to take over from Moses, and he said, "Be courageous." And Joshua's job was to take us over into from the river. He was the one to carry over the Jordan River, because we did not get into the land yet, because God said, "Moses, you're not going to get in the land. I'm going to use Joshua, the new generation, to get over to the land." Joshua, after Joshua, God take Joshua through the river, because Joshua now have that ability. Now God said, "Be courageous and strong." He have that ability now, and on his way over to the land of Canaan. The kings and the people, you remember some of the people bring back report and say, in that land there were giants. People were big like giants. It was actually true. These men and women were large, big men and women over there.
Yeah.
When they heard that Joshua, the Israelites people, which was us, that was coming over, and they heard that God we had already parted the Red Sea for us. So he parted the Red Sea, and we came over. We're now going over to the Jordan River, and they heard that the Jordan River was also parted, and we are now on the land. These people fainted. The entire community, from the king to the warriors to everybody, they fainted because they didn't want to face us. They didn't want to face Joshua and the Israelites people. They fainted. That's how powerful we are. By just hearing that we were coming over into the land, they didn't want to face us. So the people who
pure power coming across,
they knew who we are. They knew that if we ever call on the name of Yeshua, them Yeshua burned down all of the plantation and so for them. But they had was to educate us into their system so that we don't know who we are. But we are sitting here waiting for God to come back from the sky when God is waiting for us to wake up. That is our problem.
Yep.
We're
right. Yeah, but
to wake
if
up.
I have a problem and I don't know that I have a problem, Louis, if I don't know, because remember now, think about it. As Donna rightfully said, it's conditioning. Yeah, we have been conditioned into this system of things. Knowing that the Bible actually predates European history and comes out of East Africa. Yeah, we understand these things. But also, once it transitioned into this new version with all the things that were edited, removed, Council of Nicaea, 13th century, removed, edited, they took out the books of magics and all of these things and other things. Also, when, as the ancestors were not allowed to learn to read the colonizers' language. Why? They say when you want to hide something from black nigga, put it in a book, because we don't read. It wasn't that we don't read, it's that we couldn't. And that was intentional, because for a lack of knowledge, my people perish. Yeah?
Yes.
Where do we store knowledge? Where do we store knowledge? We go back to this notion of the mind, isn't it? Where do we get information? We get it from our surroundings, whether it's family, school or where we're being educated, which includes church, of community, watching the elders, and we as social animals, we learn by doing. We learn by what we see and what we
Yeah.
hear. So if those that we respect and that are guiding us are modeling these behaviors, what would trigger the thought for any of us that something more is there, something is missing? What's my trigger? What is it that I need to look at? Or where do I find the impetus for this notion that, wait a minute, I'm not AI? Like right now, the big kick is VR, virtual reality. I already have a reality. Why I want a man-made reality? You see what I'm saying? What is it that influences us? We're influenced by the behaviors and the actions and the words of the people that we respect, admire, and fear. Whether it's be
Yeah.
fear coming out of this lens of respect, or fear because you can take my benefits, my freedom, my comforts, So I put that question out there. How would I know? How do I know what I don't know? And
Each
so then
person
start seeking.
each person gets a call in because like for me 10 years ago, so it's like a personal nudge, but it didn't just happen then. It happened from childhood. You're looking around, you're looking, going to church, you're seeing that people are saying one things and they're happy and excited in church, but when they come out, there's a different standard of living. So then you just begin to, some of
Mm-hmm,
us will begin to question that and go, well, over here I can wear pants, but then this church I can't wear earrings, but I can wear pants. So for me, I started to see the many differences in this thing.
mm-hmm,
And so
mm-hmm,
I started to question, but not everybody, like Lois said, will question. We just got a question from someone that says from
hmm,
Facebook, how to renew. It's not an easy process. This renewal is, just think about like you're learning a new language. So if you want to learn a new language, you can't just pray it or rebuke it. You have to delve into it. You have to learn affirmations to speak. Now you have to you're reprogramming yourself so you can walk and think and feel like a king or a queen. So the reprogramming has to be every day, throughout the day. I always say it's like baking a cake. You got to put in the recipes. You got to put in, the affirmations, the mantras, the Bible verses that feed your soul. But you do it throughout the day.
mm-hmm,
Instead of being distracted with so much social media, spend time repeating, I am a channel of God. That's one of my favorite. I am a channel of God. I am a channel of good. Keep repeating what you are, especially nighttime before you go to sleep. You're going off into a different
mm-hmm,
realm and a different dimension. You want to not fall asleep to the news and to all the foolishness that's going on. You want to do your affirmations and your declarations about yourself. Falling asleep early morning throughout the day. It's an all day thing. And after a while, it becomes a natural it becomes a lifestyle that as I go walking, I'm saying my affirmations. I am a channel of God. I'm a channel of good. I'm a channel of love, light, luxury, channel of riches, success, health, wealth, happiness. We have to be the one to renew the mind and then test it. We have to
Um,
practice.
ooh, ooh,
let me just jump in. I have
that
a few
tested
minutes
piece.
before.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, let me just jump in. I have a few minutes before I wrap
Yes.
up on my segment here. But just to answer your question, also, Marjorie,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yes.
you go to church, and I always start from the church because that's where we spend most of our quality time at church in front of a pastor or someone who is a minister.
Mhm.
And all they tell us
Mm-hmm.
is to read from one book. And everybody read from this one book. And so when you
Mm-hmm.
say people don't know something wrong, they will never question anything. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so we have passed 400 years. Let's start from
Mm-hmm.
right now, from today, and start all three of us, and everybody that is listening, and everybody that is watching. You don't have to. You don't have to. I don't have to tell you which Bible, but I promise you, if you take up another Bible than the King James version that you've been reading and that your pastor have been telling you, and start read to understand, you will start question what's in each of these Bible, because every verse is almost every verse you come upon a chapter, it's written differently, it's telling you a different thing in a different way, and you must have that's when you arouse the Holy Spirit inside of you, because remember, there is two spirit according to John, 1 John 4 verse 4. There's a spirit in me and there's one outside of me, so there is two spirit, and the one inside of you will tell you what is wrong with what you're doing, because that's what he was sent for. I know it. I'm confident with it. And we must also get that same confidence that that spirit will wake up. The moment you have question, he will wake up and correctly, and he will start dance with you, because that's what he's waiting for us to start questioning all the things that he said would have happened in the jungle, because we're facing wolves and sheep. That's who we're amongst, wolf and sheep. Listen to a song by Dennis Brown, Wolves and Sheep.
Hey. Okay, then take it to the song. Take it to the song. But there's truth in the music now. There is truth in the lyricism. They know what they're speaking about as they take out these principles and precepts and put them to syncopation, to music, because music is one of the most wonderful pathways for getting information in, so that people can have opportunity to process, to hear. He said, be swift to what? Hear. Slow to wrath. Yeah. And so again, we hear these principles. I agree with you. The work, I think part of the important part of the work is outreaching, reaching out to those places and spaces, the highways and the byways where people are, even within the church, the context of our places of worship, be it the synagogue, your mosque, wherever a person gets their spiritual food, where they go to get fed. How do we get this, if you will? It's not a new way of thinking so much as just an alternative. Yeah, it's been here since the beginning of man being sentient. Yeah. How do we get the word out, trigger thought, influence this notion that there is more, asking people, challenging people to question the norms and the things that have been normalized through this system of indoctrination, as well as a system of compliance, because you know that there are consequences if you draw outside of those lines. So even within the context of community, we keep these norms and values going by, what we call those normative behavior. So for me, when I think about the idea that no weapon formed against me shall prosper, I'm also thinking about the things in my everyday life, whether it's a lack of quality education, whether it's a lack of, filling a notion of lack. And it's not only just spiritual, it's mind, body, and spirit, because I'm 3 in 1, and all of those things influence and impact each other. And if my spiritual aspect is going to become stronger and more robust, I also need to attend to the other two components of who I am. And I also become
Marjorie, I think
that
Lois
role
has
model.
to jump off.
Marjorie, it's a pleasure. Donna, we definitely have to catch up with this next week again and continue.
We definitely will see.
To have a conversation. And Marjorie, it's good to see you. God bless everybody. The last thing I will
it's a pleasure.
Say,
Blessings.
please read a second Bible, and I promise you, try it for 30 days. Try it for 30 days. Read a second Bible and
But that's
see
the
how you like.
formula.
Well, know
Amen. Have
that
a
there's
great
also
evening.
a revolution. The revelation is already starting. The revelation
Yes.
of who we
Coming up
are.
next, it's ball talk right here.
The revelation
Thank
of
you.
who we are is already started. So people, the seeking, the
Mm-hmm.
asking, the seeking and knocking has begun.
It has. I
It
would
has
agree.
begun.
I
Anything that
agree.
is in the dark must come to light, and I believe that that is happening right now. And we also need to understand that the Bible is made up of completely different time periods. When people they were taking these accounts years, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
years, hundreds of years after it happened, or it was passed
Mm-hmm.
on through scrolls. So we need to understand that they put together this book and said, "Here, this is what to follow." And then it was also
Mm-hmm.
in parables. So
Oh yes, yes, yes.
we
Lots
have
of
to
purple.
discern and use that spiritual wisdom to discern. So that's what I do now. Like when I look at the verse of renewing the mind, and you may for years have
Mm-hmm.
passed it over and go, oh, renew the mind, but then you're like, why? Because of the colonized program. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's like the messages were there hidden. You're gonna need this technique. I already told you how to transform. That's
Mm-hmm.
my Yeshua voice. I already told you how to transform your life. I said, told you to renew your mind. I told you that you were God's. This is all Yeshua. I told you that the kingdom of God is within you. I told you that you are light. I told you that you must love, serve, and bless others. Though that's like the
So that you
blueprint.
might be blessed.
That's
Yeah.
the blueprint.
And that's, oh, I love that. Oh, the blueprint. Okay? The blueprint.
The blueprint.
That's your how-to manual.
Yes.
Yeah, that's your how-to manual. It's just like you're building any house. You're
Yes.
building anything that's going to be resilient. It's going to be strong. It's going to produce the results that you want and hope for and need. So I love that when you said blue. I'm like, I just saw this
Yeah.
picture in my mind's eye. I'm like,
Because
oh
we
my
make
gosh, she
things
just
too
nailed it.
complicated.
That is
Yeah.
absolutely on it.
Yeah. We make
Yeah. Oh my
things. Yeah.
goodness. Yes. Donna, you are nailing it because a lot of times, from what I hear from people as I do the research and whatever, and then anecdotally as well as when I'm doing actual, pedagogy, they're like, "But how do you do that? What does that mean?" You know, people don't see how it applies to their day-to-day lives. They don't see how it's built into them that comes out, even as what's external to them now find pathways in, and that there's a synergy between the two that allows us to evolve into just this next best version of who we have the potential to be.
Yeah.
We are extraordinary beings. Oh my goodness. I'm
Technology.
fascinated by it.
And the technology
Yeah.
of the mind and heart will either have us bless our life or curse our life. All these things are
Mm-hmm.
hidden gems in the Bible. It's our by
Mm.
our mind, by our emotions, the
Mm-hmm.
stress causes cancer, etc., etc. Unforgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times our blessings are being held back because we have too much unforgiveness. We carrying all this resentment and jealousy and envy for years.
Mm-hmm.
We have people up,
All them
bad mind,
luggage.
all these things. But yet we are
Mm-hmm.
doing the routines. We're going to church and we think that we're in the house of the Lord.
Yes.
But wherever you
Mm-hmm.
are,
Hallelujah.
that is the
Yes.
house of the Lord. You are the house of the Lord. You are the vessel. You are the
Mm-hmm.
temple.
He said the church is the people.
Yes. So I just think
Yes,
that
we
there's a
are.
real
But who
disservice.
understands that?
I know. I
Mm-hmm.
think once you begin to when you get out of the matrix and you begin to ask, seek, knock,
Mm-hmm.
that's when
I
it
like
starts.
that.
Yeah. That's when the clicking begins. But if you're
Go ahead,
in
Neil.
in the matrix, you're just going to go and you're going to continue
Mm-hmm.
the routine because you fear What if? So, you know,
Yeah, yeah. And you don't have too many people have no reason to even ask the what ifs.
right.
And for those who are asking what if, there is that sense of fear. There is that sense of trepidation. Don't want to be different. Don't want to color outside the lines. Don't want to be, seen as a freak or different or to be ostracized from community because we are very much
Yeah.
collectivist animals. We do need
Right.
community.
You're right.
And so many things that act as barriers. But so much,
Yeah.
and you were right when you said that the evolution and the
The
revelation has
revelation,
begun.
it has
And
begun.
yeah, and it
Yeah.
has begun in
Yeah.
earnest. People are waking
Yes.
up, and people are seeking, they're asking the questions, and even more so asking the right questions. And that's
Yes.
so important. This has been a
And
great
last tip is I
and
know we
amazing
gotta to
conversation.
wrap up. When you see the verse that says you are God, people freak out about that, right? You can only be God over yourself because you are the one
Mm-hmm.
thinking for you. You cannot even outsource. Can we outsource this job? No. You can't outsource
Hey.
thinking. You can't outsource believing. You can't outsource feeling or speaking. These are
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
tools that and your technology will can be used to bless or curse your life. It's either or.
All right.
So we got to figure out. So for years we've been just cursing our lives because we didn't even know we have a technology. We didn't know we are spiritual intelligence. We just think we're body and we're gonna just die and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But we are an technical, like we are a universe within us. Think about our
Yeah.
hearts, everything, the makeup of self, right? We are incredible people,
Yes.
beings.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
when
Yes.
you start to
Yes.
renew the mind, you start to learn how
Mm-hmm.
to bless your life versus
Mm-hmm.
cursing your life. And who's doing that? You.
Mm-hmm.
So you become the co-creator.
Mm-hmm.
You become the God over your life, not over anyone else's. That's it.
And that is an important distinction to make, and I'm glad you touched on that
Mm.
because when we don't embrace who we are, because remember when Joshua left, before he left, he said, "You're going to do greater than I ever have ever done.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
going to do what? Greater."
Sir.
Greater. So
Right.
again, he placed no limits on what we have the capacity, what the capacity that was built into us that
Mhm.
we have to unlock and leverage.
Right.
Look, let me tell you, that's what I mean when I say no weapon formed against me shall prosper. No, I am not going to pass anybody's brown paper bag test because I'm not a paper bag boo. I am an essential being. My essence and my value is innate. No man gave me my value. It came in with me. Yeah? It came in with me. And when the spirit of my mind is renewed, when I come into this clarity of understanding of who, what, and whose I am and what I'm capable of, why do you think that Lucifer, the evil one, has to trick me into relinquishing my power, my privilege, and my position?
Hmm.
Because the power is in me.
That's right.
Greater is he that is in me. Yeah, so unleashing and unlocking. And when you talk about the technology, us being, we are the blueprint. Go back to your word. We are the blueprint. Even the technology that they have, the AI, is based on us. It's not novel. They created nothing. They merely took what was already divinely designed and implemented and repurposed it. They didn't create anything. They
Yes.
created absolutely nothing. It's just a rebranding of what already was. That part. Renewing my mind. I understand whose I am, what I am,
Yes.
and where I'm going. How we
That's
gonna get
right.
there? I am grateful for this space and for this time. Thank you for inviting me in and holding
Namaste.
space for me.
Yes, Queen.
Namaste, my dear
God bless
sister.
you.
Thank you. Blessed love. Yes, ma'am. So
Yes.
let's do this again. Let's
Yes,
keep
we
this
will keep
energy going.
you
Let's
guys
keep pouring out the
posted.
love.
Yes. We will share, we
Yes.
will bring in the different conscious level individuals that want to speak with love and inform with love and be able to step outside the matrix. We're not here to condemn or to judge. We're here
Mm.
to love. All right, everybody, have a good night. Thank you, Marjorie.
Elevate. Bonsoir. You're so welcome, my dear sister. Stay blessed and you stay light.
Yes, Queen.
Blessed
Love
love.
you. Love you.
Mm. Okay, love you too.